Hey everyone, it's Todd Hazelwood here from the Brad Jones Racing team, and I'm here to bring you another episode as we get ready for round 2 of the Supercars Championship, as we'll be racing at Sandown Raceway for the first time since 2019. We didn't race there last year with the revamped calendar. It's normally the Sandown 500, but this year it's the Sandown SuperSprint. It's actually quite weird to be racing at Sandown this early in the season. Normally Sandown is traditionally the Sandown 500. It's normally the pre-event for the Bathurst 1000, and we generally have a co-driver involved as well. So it'll be the first time since Formula 3 days that I've actually done sprint format racing at Sandown. Really cool. We're back to a 2-day race weekend. So what that means is that we'll be similar to last year where we introduced the sprint format. So we'll have 3 races over the course of 2 days of action. So it's very fast-paced, starting from practice all the way up to Sunday with race 3 finalising the weekend. So, as I said, with it being so fast-paced, it really comes down to preparation before the weekend. So the team and I have obviously been working tremendously hard behind the scenes to ensure that we have a much stronger weekend at Sandown. Obviously Bathurst for us wasn't our best event, but we still took away some good points. But for us now, we want to get back inside that top 10 and fighting for ultimately the best result possible. Now, with the introduction of the sprint format again for 2021, we're seeing a very similar sort of scenario as last year. So we've got a limited tyre bank. So what that means, we've got 5 sets of tyres for 3 races and 3 qualifying sessions. So essentially what's going to happen is then when we go to the races, we've got 6 stints worth of racing with only 4 sets of tyres. And the CPS, what that means is that we have to do a minimum of 2 tyres per stop over the course of the race. So it's 1 pit stop, a minimum of 2 tyres, no refueling. So it's going to put a lot of emphasis on strategy and also the boys in pit lane, making sure that they can change those tyres as quick as possible. So last year, we saw 2 tyre pit stops as low as 2.5 seconds a second. The guys at BJR have been working really hard at the factory, rehearsing those stops, and I feel like we're in a really good shape for that. So fingers crossed we can have a good weekend with strategy. Hopefully our car is fast and we can capitalise and get another good result. When there was the introduction of this sprint format change last year, I think that it really suited the team and I at Brad Jones Racing. When we had a fast race car, we could maximise that over the course of the weekend, and our strategy was really strong. I got my first podium at Sydney Motorsport Park last year. So, if we can keep that trend going, would love to be fighting for podiums once again in 2021, and no better time than the present, I reckon. So, really excited for the weekend. I think, going back to Sandown, we haven't raced there for, quite a while now. So no doubt the surface has got a little bit rougher since we were last there. I think tyre degradation and tyre management is going to be crucial, especially with this format. So you're going to, over the course of the weekend, you might see, I think for the first race on Saturday, we may see people only take 2 tyres because a 2-tyre pit stop is shorter than putting 3 or 4 tyres on. Now, with Sandown predominantly being left-hand corners, some people might be inclined to change the right front tyre and the 2 rear tyres and try and keep the left front tyre on for the whole race. Or some people may only take the right-hand side, or maybe take the rear side, or take the rears only, depending on what you're sort of fighting with the car. And that's going to be dictated as the race goes on. So yeah, a lot of strategy is going to be playing out. I think for the viewers watching at home, it's going to be really exciting. Might be a few mixed results and a few names getting some personal bests and things like that. So yeah, I think will be an interesting weekend, and we hope to capitalise as much as possible for that. So so make sure you watch on the tyre strategy. 3 races, just under 100 Ks per race, kilometres per race. So I think they're 34 laps for all races. So both the race on Saturday and also the 2 races on Sunday. And with that format, we've also got split qualifying or process of elimination on Saturday. So it's a 3-part qualifying. So everyone will be out on track at the same time for the first part. Then there's a process of elimination for part 2, and then the same again for part 3. So that'll happen on Saturday. And then for Sunday, there'll be 2 qualifying sessions for race 2 and then another one for race 3, determining the grid. And that's just everyone out on track, hell for leather, and then the fastest of that session will get pole position and so forth. So intense qualifying. Essentially only get 1 set of tyres or 1 run to have a hit and see what you can do, and then that's really your session. So going to be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, from my point of view, I'll be putting a lot of emphasis on qualifying and time management, and fingers crossed that gives us a good result. So It's been a busy couple weeks outside of racing for me. Did a few activations and corporate visits and sponsor visits while up in Brisbane. But now back here in Melbourne, caught up the team just recently, and now all set and ready to go for the action that lies ahead at Sandown Raceway. So pumped to see what we can do. Bring it on. We're currently 13th in the championship, so hopefully from an unlucky point of view, that means absolutely zero, and we'll be fighting to push forward, get some good results, and keep putting some solid points on the board to keep progressing into that top 10 of the championship, which is where we want to be for season 2021. So thank you very much for all your support. I appreciate you tuning into these videos. If you want to see or hear anything different, please let me know. Send me a message or an email. But in the meantime, hope you enjoy the racing this weekend. Make sure you tune in to either Channel 7 or Foxtel to watch the coverage live and free on Channel 7, or you can watch every minute and every lap of action on Fox Sports. So make sure you tune into that as well. Keep updated with my social media over the course of the weekend, and I'll try and bring you the latest results ASAP. So thanks for your support. Chat soon, and hope to see you trackside over the weekend. Thanks.